could accept the fact that the city is headed for a disaster of biblical proportion. Biblical. What he means is Old Testament. Real wrath of God type stuff. Fire, brimstone, out of the skies, rivers, seas, more than 40 years of God. Human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together. That's scary.
Okay, so this is what it says, is that the NOAA has now confirmed a geomagnetic storm, which is the largest seen on planet Earth in the last 21 years. The impacts could be as follows: complete grid collapse or blackouts, cellular system failure, radio outages, satellite degradation. Yeah, satellite degradation. Satellite's not even real. Anyway, and widespread overall communication inaccessibility. Well, that's what they're saying is going to happen. There's going to be a storm, a geomagnetic storm. But my question is can you hear my beautiful puppet voice? Because if you can, then you know what that means. Broadcasting live from the WDCE studios out of the University of Richmond. We're listening to 90.1 FM from the most trusted puppet and media. Reporting since Roswell, I'm Sam Newsman, and this is Saturday morning. I want to thank everyone, of course, for joining into the show. We do have the Sam Cams live up and running, of course. This is a real radio microphone that I am talking into. That means that if you were here in Richmond, Virginia, and you were driving along in your car, and you were to turn on your radio on an FM signal, 90.1 FM, you would hear my beautiful puppet voice. And you would say, wow, that is an amazing, beautiful puppet voice. You know, I don't think I could hear anything better than that beautiful puppet voice coming out of my radio on a Saturday morning. What if I told you that you could also see my beautiful puppet face? Yes, you can. You know how you can do that at Sam Newsman all over social media. We have the Sam Cams up, live, and running. Shout out, of course, Sir Philosopher in the house. We have a couple other people, Big M as well. Now, we are broadcasting on a couple of different venues here. The ones that we have Facebook, YouTube, and X, formerly known as Twitter. Well, I mean, do you still call it, say, formerly known as Twitter? Because if you go to the website, it still says twitter.com. You still just call it Twitter, right? We say it X, but it's basically Twitter. Still just calling it Twitter. But we're here on, what's up, Junkie On? I see Junkie On as well. Well, the reason why is that this is an interactive show. So there's an interactive show going on. We're able to chat with everybody as they're coming in. So shout outs to everybody as you're joining in. Once again, Facebook, YouTube, and X, and also at Sam Newsman Live. Now, I say at Sam Newsman Live on Instagram is because we were banned from streaming on Instagram at Sam Newsman. So now we have at Sam Newsman Live. Now, it's not as big, and you know what? We've taken a hit on Instagram in terms of followers, but that's okay. Because here are the facts that we've never have tied ourselves directly to social media. I think that's probably one of the biggest flaws that I see in the communities. Now, I of course, peruse several different communities, but here are the facts. The facts are that if you tie your business to a certain social media platform, the reality is that you are not really the brand. Your brand still really isn't the brand. The brand is the platform. Platform being either YouTube or Facebook. You're not the brand. So no matter what you try to say or do and say, oh, well, this is mine or this is the facts. Here are the facts. The facts are is that if you're using YouTube and Facebook as the anchor for your brand or your business. Well, listen, we just heard a second ago that the power grid might go out because of some solar storms. What are you going to do then? Listen, this is not me talking all crazy, having a tinfoil hat on my head. No, this is being real. I'm just telling you right now, people sit there, they tie their brands and everything to social media. One of the reasons why it took us so long to get on social media, we didn't tie our brand to social media. What did we tie it to? Well, my beautiful puppet voice, my beautiful puppet face, but I've been on social media since they allowed me, well, to come back. What was that? I won't get into that. But seriously, so that's what's happened. So that's what's happened, and here I am every single Saturday morning, setting the standard, raising the bar, the only way a real media puppet knows how to do. And with that comes awards. That's right, awards. And it is that time of year again, of course, where we ask all of you to go to the website. I think I have the link on my social media pages. So there's the link on the social media pages. Instagram probably one of the easiest ways, but you can go to richmond.com slash the hyphen best. I don't know. I got to figure out what the actual website is, but you can find the link, of course, in my bio. Find the link in my bio, richmond.com. It's the Richmond Times Dispatch, Best of Richmond. Shout out to Skydra, shout out to Anime. Everybody here in the house. Make sure that you're telling everybody that we are broadcasting live, once again, at Sam Newsman Live, over here on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and X. But one of the things we need everybody to do is you need to go and click on the link, and you need to nominate Sam Newsman, WDCE 90.1 FM, that's what it says, in big letters, by the way, for the best local radio show, best local morning radio show. Best local morning radio show. Now, last year we got third. Now, we probably should have gotten second. I say probably should have because I didn't emphasize the fact that you could cheat. We'll talk about cheating later. But listen, there is an integrity of the vote that does happen. That's why you're going to have to put in some personal information. No, they're not going to spam you. But what you're going to want to do is you want to go and click and nominate me. And we're using over the next, 18, 17 days or so when we have this. I think it ends on May 29th. Ends on May 29th. So we're using the hashtag nominate newsman. So that is hashtag nominate newsman. Hashtag nominate newsman. Nominate us for the best local morning radio show in Virginia, brought to you by, of course, the newspaper of record, the Richmond Times Dispatch. So I want to just sit there and clarify all of that right out of the gate. It started on Wednesday. It did start on Wednesday. And yeah, well, listen, I just want you guys to just go ahead and go over there and do it. It would just, yes, of course. It would make me feel good if we did win. It's going to be an uphill battle, but we got to make the top 5 first. Now, a couple of years ago was the first year we were in it. We didn't make the top 5. Oh, well, listen, it's a big field. Don't get upset with me about it. That just means competition is tough. But last year, what we were able to do, we were able to break into the top 5 and then break into the top 3. And you know what happened is that the Richmond Times Dispatch, they never called me. Yeah, so they never called me. They didn't want me to show up. Why? I guess I would suck all the wind and the air out of the room. You'd be like, well, who's the media puppet? Well, I'm the real media puppet. Well, what place did you get? Well, I got 3rd place. Well, you should be number 1 because everybody's sitting there and giving you attention, which they will eventually. Because I feel like that this year, if we can do everything the way that we need to do, we can get back there again. And this time, I'll actually show up. Now, I can't sit there and promise you that there will be video or any of that stuff. Now, I might give you some pictures. I'll send some pictures out. But we got to make it to the top 5 first, and then we got to make it to the top 3. Top 5 voting is in July, but we need to nominate now. So hashtag nominate newsman all the way until May 29th. Hashtag nominate newsman. So that way you can be a part of the best of Richmond voting here in a couple of months when we move to the voting round. And that is if you nominate me, but you got to nominate me. And you can only nominate me 1 time per email. I'm going to say that again. You can only nominate me 1 time per email during this nomination round. So 1 time per email, richmond.com slash the-best, I think it is. Well, like I said, we'll figure it out. Anyways, the best of Richmond, best local morning radio show. We just want you guys to nominate us. Hashtag nominate newsman. And that is that. Yeah, we'll probably bring it up again. Well, why not? Well, like I said in the last hour, sometimes you just got to pat yourself on the back, right? I mean, it's like, hey, hey, good job, me, good job, me. Why not good job, me? I mean, sometimes you just have to do that. The people on the other side of the glass are looking at me and they're just shaking their heads. Can I just give a shout out to Art real quick? Because it was Art from Get Lost that allowed us to be able to have a show this morning. My whole crew over there forgot all of the cables. Yeah, I'm calling you out and throwing you out under the bus. Yeah, way to go. All award winning producers and stuff. You forget your cables. Well, you know what? Art was so generous, he allowed us to be able to have the connections necessary so we could get the show on the road. Not on the road, but up and live and running. So shout out to Art from Get Lost. Now, I don't know if you guys have seen this, if they've talked about this. This is very interesting. This will be the last thing I'm going to go over here. Let's see if I can find it. I don't know. I might have to come back to it. Did you know that Saturdays during the summer here at WDCE is the hottest day of the week? No, I'm serious. It is. WDCE on Saturdays from 7 until about midnight. There's going to be shows all day long on Saturday. Well, no. Well, this is the testament to how powerful Saturday morning radio is. Well, not only Saturday morning radio, how about Saturday radio in general? I say Saturday morning radio, that's the name of this show. But how about Saturday radio? People think that Saturday is a dead time, is a dead time for advertising, it's a dead time for listening. What if I told you there's a gold mine just waiting to happen? It's on Saturday morning. Of course, it starts with me, but it's no, I'm just kidding. I kid. But what I don't kid about is the fact that from sun up to sundown, all the way up until midnight, I believe, is there's going to be shows from about 7, like I said, 7 o'clock to about midnight during the summer season. There's going to be shows all day long on Saturday here on WDCE. So I don't have the list in front of me. I'll try to get the list. I'll give them all shout outs a little later. Well, I mean, why not give them a bunch of shout outs? That's pretty amazing. Well, how long have we been doing this show? It'll be 6 years. It's about 6 years next month. About 6 years next month is how long we've been doing the show here. And I can tell you, Saturday was dead. It was dead. And people thought I was crazy because I wanted to come in at 7 o'clock in the morning to do a show. And it was tough. It was tough for a while. Now, Art does it now. Art can tell you 7 a.m. is tough. But, we cut our chops, we cut our teeth, and then eventually we moved over to 9 o'clock. And then a couple of years ago, when we started having bigger listeners, net of listeners, so when we expanded our audience, let's say, and things were going pretty well, what was happening is that we had a lot of people that were listening on the West Coast. And that's the reason why now we do broadcast until noon, because that last hour gives the people in the West Coast some time to call in, to be a part of the show, chat with us here live. Once again, at Sam Newsman all over social media, on Facebook, YouTube, and X right now. Shout out to the people in chat. What did we have? We have, pastry, and then crunchy Cheetos. Pastry and crunchy Cheetos. Nothing like a good pastry and some crunchy Cheetos, right? Well, so that's who's in the chat over there. A couple of other people there in chat as well. Do me a favor, if you are listening or watching, share this on social media. Tell everybody we are setting the standard and raising the bar, specifically on Instagram, at Sam Newsman Live. That's at Sam Newsman Live. One of the things that I'm going to be having in a few moments is the professor. Professor Deep Cut Dave is going to be talking to us specifically about one thing, and that is anime. Why? Because it is May. And what way to celebrate May than with anime? At Sam Newsman, all over social media, once again, is where you're going to find me. Setting the standard, raising the bar, the only way a real media puppet knows how to do here on the only award-winning radio show dedicated to the magic and nostalgia of Saturday morning, hosted by me, a real media puppet. From the most trusted puppet in media, reporting since Roswell, I'm Sam Newsman, and this is Saturday morning.